Hi there. My name is Larry Goldsmith. I'm an attorney and an expert witness in court as a CPA, and I'm straight. And you're probably going to ask yourself, why did I write a book with a character who's transgender? Now, I'm not going to really answer that much. What I'm going to talk about is woke society. I did write this novel, and I have thousands of people who've read this novel so far, and many people who've liked it. But I've been attacked on woke society, and I want to discuss why I wrote the book in the sense of what I did to do my due diligence, and why I think woke society is wrong. The main character, let's see, if you have to be a character and come from the same cloth as your characters, very few books would have ever been written. Do you think the author for Harry Potter is a warlock or a witch? Do you think she has magical powers? I don't think so. To be an author and to have credibility means that you have to do research. That you could write a book, if you're Jewish, about the Pope, and you could be Catholic and write a book with Jewish characters, but you're going to have to do research. And that's what I did. I had people who said to me that you cannot write a book with a transgender character unless you're transgender. And I've read in the different blogs how many people that they've castigated because they were straight and they played a character who was gay. And how could you be in a mindset? Because you do your homework. And that's how you can do it. So what did I do to do my homework? Because obviously I'm not transgender. First off, I did a lot of research, book research. I actually went and talked to one of my friends who's a medical psychiatrist. He's a forensic psychiatrist, and he turned me on to actual medical studies that have been performed, and he gave me medical research to read. I've incorporated that into some of my novel. I then went into a lot of the websites, transgender websites, where people are talking to each other and asking questions, and did a lot of reading. I then went to YouTube, and at the time that I was writing this novel initially, I think 5-6 years ago, even though it's published this year, that tells you how long I did research, and that tells you how long it's been that I've rewritten the books a number of times before I had it published. There were quite a few people who were doing YouTube at that time who were honest, brutally honest, and they talked about their family structure. Some people talked about they had good relationships with their mom and dad. Some of them talked that they were abused by their father, and some talked about that their parents disowned them. I made my characters. I used those YouTube interviews sort of to develop my characters. There were people who in YouTube talked about what they wanted in life and what they hoped to achieve by becoming transgender. I even read people who decided to go back to the way they were and the reasons for it. My character is a combination of all these YouTubes. of people that I listened to, and from the medical studies. But I wasn't going to be finished there, because I talked about some of the medical procedures that my character goes through. I was fortunate enough to find an editor, a final editor, because I had 3 editors go through this before I got to this point, who was transgender herself. Mm-hmm. So she went through and she read the novel, and she pointed out different things to me that she would want to change. And I've incorporated that. Then I fortunately found somebody who is also transgender to be a sounding board for that, for my novel after that. I wanted this to be an authentic novel. And the purpose of my novel was not to talk about transgender. It wasn't that at all. It was to tell a love story, to tell a story. And that's what I did. And I'm not trying to tell you what a transgender person thinks or doesn't think. You know why? Every person is different, and every person's an individual, and there is no generalization of what is and what isn't. And to the woke society, you have to realize that an author tells a story, and that's what I did. And it's as authentic as possible. And I hope you read Mark Marcy, and I hope that you listen to my next YouTube where I talk about the novel itself. Thank you.